I'm here at SHOT Show 2022 with Hazard 4, and we're going to see Flip, who has quite a bit of new stuff to talk about.
Yeah, so we've had a lot of popularity. It's probably our best seller was this stretch waterproof breathable poncho, and sort of in that same vein, we have a new patent and design in these sleeves here, which we call our Armigators. So they're like gaiters for your arms, and they're made out of similar material that it's like a waterproof stretch material. But the cool thing is that it allows you to put on sleeves very quickly for protection, either from abrasion or from sun or from mosquitoes, or like going down for prone shooting, without having to deal with like body armor and without having to deal with like putting on a jacket. So if you're wearing a helmet or like Ear Pro, maybe some sort of night vision stuff, and you maybe go from like a day in the summer to like the nighttime where it's getting cold, well, you can put these sleeves on really quickly, and then your body armor, everything gets to stay in place. Maybe you're in some confined foxhole or something, you can still do that, and then be able to put that on. And then also, if you're just shooting, let's say, and it's very hot, you don't want to put on a whole jacket and just get ultra hot through the midsection on the back, just to get protection for the arms, because you're going to be lying down in some rocks or whatever. So this gives you that opportunity.
I can see this also used my friend in Olympia. He has to go through buildings sometimes to help make a rest.
Right,
and
for abrasion resistance.
Abrasion resistance, because he's like going through glass. Sometimes
Sure.
with a break-in.
Or you're scuffling with somebody, like literally fighting. Then you also obviously get the ID. So I can show you on this mannequin here.
Okay.
The same item, but in a different color. And you can see here how we actually detach it in the middle and go around. We have it set to fit pretty much anything like a vest-like item. And then it goes here, any excess gets pushed down into this pocket in the sleeve. And then you've got your IDs and stuff. This is obviously in a Coyote. And then in here we even have removable like pads inside the elbows that come out from the inside. So with this, again, you have the body armor. You can attach directly to that, so you can actually even go one arm if you need just one arm covered.
Yeah.
The other thing we envision too is if some officer has like a response vest in like a trunk, you can have the sleeves like attached. So even though you might be in jeans and a t-shirt, you can attach this and put it on and very quickly have like the upper body be like fully uniformed, where you've got the arms, IDs with police or whatever on
like
there.
Like he has to go in like DEA. They gotta look the normal, but when they gotta go in, he looks the part to
exactly. So from the waist up, you have a full uniform as opposed to a t-shirt, and it looks a bit more official. Somebody in some public building will know, okay, that's a real cop.
Because I mean, there's always that chance that there's somebody faking, which we've seen lately. But it's also a chance like the misleading news media. Like
but it's less likely if you're more dressed out.
But no, it's really nice. I like it.
The other neat thing is if you, since they're small and there's not a front and a back and a side, it means you can roll them up like little burritos and put them into pouches, either on a belt or on a vest, obviously. So that then you can have that with you to like roll out, whereas you wouldn't have a whole jacket like inside of a vest, and you typically won't have some sort of a pack or bag. So that's neat. So we call them Armigators, the gaiters for your arms. And then I'll show you another thing, which is a literal gaiter over here. We're just doing a video over here, guys. So we've got this item here. It's new for this year. So it's a gaiter, but then we've got modularity on the sides here and on the front, so that you can add pouches. Like for instance, guys have been talking about putting in like blowout kits, glow sticks, tourniquets, like lighter stuff, right onto the leg. And then if you're, let's say, riding a vehicle or a horse, ATV, snowmobile, or even rappelling, that leg is actually like right next to you. It's one of the closest things to grab is off the side. So we patented that, and then beyond that, just we wanted to make a good gaiter, so we have a color that's kind of unusual. It's actually kind of hard to get tactical colored gaiters. Usually they're black or red or some sort of like hunting camo.
Green.
Which doesn't look good on like an officer.
Or real trees.
So beyond that, we made this out of the same material that's like stretchy and yet waterproof, breathable, so the calf can actually conform a little bit more. And then inside we put in this kind of like a rubber woven tape. So it sticks to the pants tenaciously and it keeps them from kind of like riding down. And then another thing that we wanted to innovate a little bit on the stirrup that's used on these kind of gaiters. And a lot of brands actually sew it down on one side, then you have a buckle where you adjust it on the other side. And once this wears out, which over rocks will, you have to throw out the whole gaiter. So what we did was we actually have it attached on the left and we have it attached on the right, so you can detach it when it wears out like a brake pad and then put a new one in.
That's nice.
And then you don't have any metal bits. Sometimes these use a little buckle or little climbing hooks. and those hooks can dent your leather boots and just rust and bend. Often this hook for the laces is also made out of metal, and there's some snaps and stuff. So we made an all non-metallic design. So for like use in metal detectors, you don't have to take all this off, and it just won't rust and stuff. Or let's say here, we're actually doing a little system where you can unvelcro that. Then you have this hook, so if it breaks or you lose it, you can actually just use this right through the laces. And more importantly, you can actually adjust the length on that so that you can reach that. If you had laces that are further down to the toe, you can still get to them, or if it's further up, you can adjust them. These things tend to always be in the worst spot.
They always
don't work.
It makes it so the gator doesn't, when you're going through brush, it doesn't come up on you.
Exactly. So again, so for people who don't know what gaiters are even for, it's when you have normal low-sized boots. It keeps snow, dirt, scree, and like trail stuff like thistles and stuff from going down into your boots, and it just waterproofs everything up to your calf. And we're working through wet grass and stuff like that. It works really well for that.
Yeah, no, that's actually really cool. I like it. I like to see how people take normal stuff that you can get, like that hasn't changed in over years. All of a sudden, like, well, we got new gaiters that actually tactical or non-tactical. Like for me, as a hunter or a hiker, I'm worn gaiters and I hate it when they go down. Like,
which
crap.
is the same with me. So it's like adding the rubber or adding the cincher.
And so
try to fight that.
And I wouldn't mind adding like having a marker like a glow stick. So if you're
we've got a glow stick in that one.
In
fact. And it's not a heavy thing, so it's not going to impede your walking.
No, it isn't. So.
And speaking of glowing things, so this is something that we've innovated here. It's these blinker lights. So we've got them set up here in these Velcro receptacles, and but the module itself actually comes out of this, and it has a little rechargeable port. So we sell them with a little USB charging cable, so you can charge it in your car or whatever, and it'll blink like that for 9 hours. We can also click them off, obviously, and change the intensity and go to a non-blinking as well. So here we've got them on a helmet. Some officers were telling us they're really good for like getting out of a car at night for doing traffic stops, so they don't get hit. They're visible. So they'll put them on a waist belt or something like that, or on like the back of a motorcycle helmet. And then this is the Velcro bit, but this actually originated from our backpacks, where people have been asking us for attaching them to the packs. So these actually are a little rubber, sort of a boot that we call it. And it's a flexible deal, and it has screw holes in the back that attach to our system, so they'll go into those, or like, or on this backpack here, we have it right on our shell. We've actually got a pattern here, so let's say for a motorcyclist or a snowmobiler or something, this is really good visibility. And then it still works with our zigzag system here. It goes around it kind of like a cleat, comes back out of these loops. That's what these loops are for. Or even they're just spaced for 1-inch webbing, so you can put them on cross straps and other things that just people own. They have a little loop here, so you can use a beaner, just attach them to something. And then the loop, to another little cool use, is that you can put it on a string and like spin it around in the air, and it keeps it oriented forward, so you can make a big signal circle, like a 2-yard wide circle with it, so you can see that from miles away. So it's sort of a multi-use item.
And you showed earlier the cool little map pack.
So because they can be mounted on the outside, they can also be mounted on the inside. And a lot of our packs have sort of drop-down areas for maps or for just equipment. So at night you have this red light that isn't going to kill your night vision, and you can see what you're doing here. You can also vary that intensity, get more batteries obviously on the lower intensity, or just don't need it as bright. So it's a neat little kind of a map light, like in a trailer or something.
I mean, sometimes you're in your tent and it's dark at night, and you're just like, got your headlamp, it doesn't work, so that'd be something
Or
pretty
just
cool.
on the street where you wouldn't have all that extra equipment. On some bus stop or something, you can just look in there and you've got that light.
You just click it and like, okay, here's my lunch.
And the last thing I'll show you too is we're still working on this. We're dialing in the shape. So we basically wanted to get something that would make use of the blank night vision mount that most people don't use on their helmets. Sometimes they'll use like a camera on there, or maybe like a headlight. But one thing I always found is like out in the sun in California, there's never enough brim for your eyes with these kind of helmets, because they can't have a brim. That's the whole point, because when you bring down the night vision, there isn't anything there. But most Army helmets, since like the World War I, there's a brim for the sun. So we just wanted to make like a nice plastic insert that clicks into that area, And first of all, it protects this mount because some of these are very expensive. These metal pieces, when it's not like a knockoff, they could be a couple $100. And this gets knocked around, or you put the helmet down, so it keeps that covered. But then it gives you a brim, and then it actually repeats that foot that was here over here, so you can still put a headlight, or you could still put a camera into this section while keeping this brim. And then we've added some little slots on the side for some upcoming accessories that we might have coming out, or also just to loop them and attach them to the helmet, like with the elastic or whatever. So if you do somehow manage to knock it off, or if you need to, you can attach it to the helmet. We envision also maybe sticking some Velcro, and if you want to, you can flip it off and stick it to one of the Velcro patches to kind of keep it from moving around. So that's a new pattern that we have coming out. The only thing is we felt this one may be a little too long still, so we're going to be working this back to make it a little bit more of a small brim. You don't need too much, because right now the shade would be down to the chin. We'd like it so the chin is just, maybe the shade comes down to the nose, you know?
Yeah, no, that's actually pretty cool, because I mean, you want to protect that, which is always expensive, but
sometimes like grit and stuff will get in there if it's just open.
I mean, sometimes you don't always want to have sunglasses on, so
exactly.
Cool.
And sometimes you're dealing with like shooting glasses and stuff that stuff's coming on and off. Sometimes I do just want like a brim. And also if you're maybe doing rescue work or something, rappelling, that brim also just gives you an extra something to not hit your face on like a rock wall or maybe inside of a vehicle. It kind of lets you know that there's something there, and if you do bang, it'll bang that, as opposed to like banging into your face.
Warning, like you're gonna hit your head.
Or again, you don't want to bang all that expensive like mount stuff there. So that's kind of the 4 or 5 main things that we're introducing this year.
And your poncho, one of the best sellers that I've seen. And
that's a new color. Like a black camouflage that was requested, so we have that coming out.
And it wasn't me who requested it, I just mentioned it.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years people have been talking about it, so we were able to get the material, with the shortages.
And you got, I know you got navy blue, green, tan, black.
Most of those kind of colors we have. We just never had we had a special edition camo at one point, but it was hard to get the material, and this is going to be like a stocking item. So they can see all that at hazard4.com.
And you got a little sway sleeve secondary.
Oh yeah, so this is an insert. So it's this came out last year, and it's a thick fleece, and then some of the snaps that we have in the poncho snap into it, but it still repeats sort of the Velcro patch area and the pocket and stuff on the front and on the back, and you can turn it into like a pillow, and it'll obviously just work independently as well, just to warm up, or like after surfing or something. I'll sometimes put that on just to have like a warm flare. And then it has kind of a thick like neck piece that has a elastic cincher around it, so you can kind of put it over your nose and ears, or just up around the neck for warmth. And then it has some little loops that attach on the inside that you can't see from the outside. So it keeps all this from dropping out the middle when you pick it up. It kind of keeps it unified. Yeah, so that's actually been a really good seller too.
Well, cool. Thank you. And I hope maybe next year it'll be a little bit nicer.
Yeah, well, they can check that out at hazard4.com or the Instagram as it rolls out, because some of these are brand new.
And cool.